Welcome back to the newsroom with Sana. We're now going to be taking a look at what is happening around the world as AI becomes more and more part of it, with many talking about how the AI club now represents something perhaps much larger than the nuclear club, referring to countries who have nuclear weapons in possession, with many saying that those countries that have developed their own LLMs are going to be significantly more powerful, and that as each day goes by, there's more and more competition that increases, and perhaps the race and the lead that many countries, including the US and China or even Russia, has in this particular field is going to be impossible to catch up to. For that, we're going to be speaking to the Chairman, National Center of AI, Professor Yasser Ayaz, and we'll speak to him with regards to how true this is. Thank you very much, Professor Yasser, for joining us and being a part of the newsroom. It's a pleasure having you on my show. I'd like your perspective on where you think the current scenario is with regards to AI affecting the international community. People are referring and talking about the AI club, and they're talking about how exactly that is going to be compared with those countries that have nukes in possession. Do you think that that's a fair comparison to make?
I think that people have been talking about it for quite some time now, and previously also a large group of scientists, from various countries in the world, had written a letter to the United Nations in which they had argued that after gunpowder and nuclear arms in military technology, the most powerful third technology that has been invented in the world is actually AI. And the reason why they say it is not just because of LLMs or the generative nature of artificial intelligence, which is recently coming up. The reason why they were saying it is that at tactical and strategic level, artificial intelligence is able to perceive information and process it together to create situation awareness at such a, you could say, with such accuracy and with such high speed that human mind cannot process information as fast, and it can react to threats much faster than a human being can actually make decisions. So this is why artificial intelligence is perceived to be a strong technology in the military domain or in the defense domain. And there is a very large CAGR, the compound annual growth rate for the defense technology of AI, which is selling around the world. But even other than defense technology, artificial intelligence is a massive power for economic growth as well. And recently the International Data Corporation has actually ramped up the numbers. Previous numbers being reported were around 15.7 trillion US dollars GDP contribution by the year 2030, which has recently been revised to 19.9 trillion US dollars, and this number is expected to go further up. So I do think that AI is a major power, and I think that nuclear weapons probably is a smaller comparison because nuclear weapon pertains to only defense. AI pertains to defense and much beyond. So I think it's a bigger power compared to nuclear powers, actually.
Right, and many, Dr. Yasser, are also saying that perhaps the membership to the AI club is now closed with countries like the US, China, and even Russia developing their own LLMs. And because of the fact that AI is developing so rapidly and exponentially, those who are perhaps trying to catch up now or getting involved into AI now will be too far behind. Is that true?
I don't agree with that per se, because, for instance, the morning that the news about DeepSeek came out, and people were surprised that LLMs had been developed. You see, when we started hearing names of LLMs, it was ChatGPT, it was then after some time it was Llama, it was Gemini, and others, and all of them were being based out of the US. But the moment the DeepSeek came out, and DeepSeek was able to solve a lot of the same kind of problems with much lesser computational cost, it actually upset the markets and even disrupted the you could say the share values for companies like Nvidia, which are actually hardware manufacturers. So I think there's a lot in play yet. And just recently, there has been a news about Saudi Arabia signing a massive deal with purchase of major computational platforms on which will be capable of deploying LLMs, and the restrictions on UAE and Saudi Arabia being lifted, and now US looking forward to export NVIDIA technology to them. I think that for countries like us, the way forward is that we need to make unions, like, for example, the European Union has put together. So we need to see, is ECO the right forum? Is SAC the right forum? Is, our recent newfound, very close collaboration with Saudi Arabia or UAE or other countries going to be the right direction? So if, for instance, by going by example, if Saudi Arabia is buying a lot of, for example, this hardware, and we can help them put together a generative AI platform which can work in, let's say, you could say these languages, semantics and other stuff. For example, the Arabic language or Urdu language or Persian, it can work LLMs in this direction. So I think this will be a very big part, which can at one time, at one stage, compete with probably the most advanced algorithms and most advanced setups in the world.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Asias, for joining us and being part of the newsroom and sharing your views with us. There's, of course, a lot that remains to be seen as to how AI evolves, but there seems to be a lot of competition with regards to what countries like the US, China, and Russia are doing, and there's a long way to go for the rest. That's all we have from the newsroom today. We'll now see you tomorrow.